I was a staff cartoonist and illustrator in a Bengali daily. I used to do comics. I love doing comics, but while doing comics I felt the need of sound, because in comics we use sound effects like boom, bash, like things like that. But while doing frames, short divisions for comics, I felt that sounds are very important. The need for sound actually pulled me into this cinema. The film is all about a child who dreams something which actually comes as a keyword for his success in real life. It is a story based on a special child and who dreams of being a prince and a little prince. He's orphan and he writes letter to his mother every birthday and ties the letter with a bunch of gas balloons and sets it free, believing that the letter would go to his mother. And one night he dreams something which actually helps him to crack the real codec of being a little prince. The film is actually, we call it a food fantasy film. It deals with 7 tastes of our food: sweet, salt, sour, astringent, pungent, spicy, bitter. The concept is that this boy has a capacity of change people's mind through his food. That when he cooks sweet, the villain turns very sweet. When he cooks salty, the villain turns different when he cooks spicy. And that is how he changes the villain. But he actually defends the villain not by blocking him, not by turning him down, but by changing him into a good human being. And the title Rainbow Jelly signifies the final dish that includes all the 7 tastes and all the 7 colors, having which one would change into a new human being. I have always believed that film is an audiovisual medium where eyes and ears are only engaged, but I believe that taste is something for which one of our sense organs is absolutely dedicated. So we have seen films on food, we have seen Lunchbox, we have seen even Charlie and the Chocolate Factory deals with food. But I haven't seen films dealing with tastes, and which is not under the faculty of audiovisual medium. So I just wanted to bring this faculty in the audiovisual medium. Srilekha Mitra is a very well-known cast in Bangla. She acted on the fairy godmother as a fairy godmother who gives the secret recipe to the child for rainbow jelly to turn the villain into a good human being. The villain is Kaushik Sen. He is a famous actor. The protagonist child, Mohabruto Bosu, who acted as Ghoton, is Ghoton in this film is a special child, orphan child, and Mohabruto himself is a special child in real life. So he is the key of the film and he pulls the show away. I've always made films with children. If you see my first film, there was a children. My first film, Pendulum, has children in the central character. My second film, Load Shedding, was also had children, 3 major characters. So the third film was also based. I never tried to make children films. I always tried to deal with children and to see world around from their perspective. That is how you address innocence, and through innocence you can address the universality of a film, and anything which is universal stays along. For me, the success of a film definitely goes with the shelf life. So if the film is universal, it would be a success. We had done workshops. So we had done 3 months of workshops. Mohabruto used to come back from schools and used to go before his coaching starts. And we had 3 months of workshops. So when he came to the floor, he was absolutely ready. So we had a very short span of shooting phase. We shot the film for 16 days only, and within the 16 days we had managed to shoot the entire film. That is actually how our educational system goes on. Practicing, 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 and on the final exam date you go for it and you do it. Each of them are very different. My first film, Pendulum, was based on a surrealist theme where a painter can take his audience into the painting. It was a very dark, noir kind of film. My second film is a very teenage love story, and the third film is a food fantasy. So they are different, but yes, my sense of narrative, my camera always loves to see the world around from a child perspective, because I feel that every one of us carry a child inside, and if we can see the world around from that perspective, lot of things can be seen that we cannot see when we are fighting in reality, being grown-ups. They're changing the entire landscape of filmmaking a lot, and they're changing, I think they're also changing the budgeting process also, because if you actually can trap film within your phone, and if you can make it a movie and AV sort of thing, then it would be very easy for us to get captivated, and things would help us to tell more stories. But for cinema, I think these platforms are not at all antagonistic to cinema. More and more cinema should be done so that this platform can coherently relate to this cinema, and I think both this platform and cinema should go hand in hand, because after all, for everything the primary aspect is storytelling. So people should be accustomed of different sort of storytelling. This platform actually helps us of experimenting, and this experimenting would and the successful experiments would again go back to the large screen. So if this go hand in hand, then both of the domain would be developed, I think. The problem is that since we have that hangover of that history, where Bengali films from the 50s were showing the path of going abroad, or from Satyajit Ray and Mrinal Sen and Hrithik Ghatak, we had that hangover of that celebration. So I think that hangover somehow helped us to grow, also had stopped us to recreate our own philosophy. We followed them too much. Actually, I think instead of taking good things from them and do new things, we had copied them too much, and by that time this Marathi cinema, Tamil cinema developed. But I think things would be changed. Bengali film would again come into it on its prime focus. Only one thing should be there in mind, that what you should do for a regional market should not be closely knitted for the regional market, because film again is an audiovisual medium, and if you can make a film which can cater to lot of other language, that would be the prime success of the film. When I say Kila, I never feel that it is not my language. When I say Tithi, I never feel that it's not my language. That they have managed to achieve. I hope soon Bengali cinema would come to its prime focus. Best thing about regional cinema is that it's very local, and something which is always universal should be very local at the basic point of time. But this local image shouldn't be again a shortcoming of letting stories get confined into the region, because again cinema is an audiovisual medium. It should go beyond that language of verbal communication.